When it comes to success in leadership and management, successful leaders know what to do. They know what's important. And today, I'm going to share with you one thing that successful leaders don't leave to chance. They are in control. And this is something that if you also want to be successful, you need to know, you need to be aware of. Let's talk about it in this video. Hello there, here we go for another video, and today we're going to talk about an important step that you need to take if you want to be successful in your leadership and management. But first, if you're new here, welcome to Management Secrets. On this channel, I'm talking about my experience as a manager. I share with you my 10 plus years experience in leadership roles and management. I'm sharing my success, so I hope that can inspire you, and I also share with you my struggles, because I think that in the world we're in today, we all hear about people that have been successful, but we don't know about their struggles. And most of the time you'll be wondering if you're going through a struggle, is it because you're not good enough? So I thought that if I share also my struggles in this channel, you can relate to it, and also you can avoid the mistake I've made, because you don't have to make those mistakes. So if that's something you can resonate with, go on now and subscribe to this channel where I release video about management and leadership. I share my experience with you on a weekly basis, and I hope that I can inspire you in your leadership and management, and I can help you be more confident and successful in your leadership. And talking about being successful as a leader, as a manager, I'm working currently on a course that we help first-time managers, young managers, being more confident in their leadership and management, and also make a great connection with their team members so they can get great results. And I'm working on it right now. But for that, I need to know, what are your challenges? What are you going through right now? I want to know them by you filling out a very quick form. What I'm going to ask you, all these challenges, is a very quick form I need you to fill out for me. I'll leave the link for you down below in the description of this video. This is going to help me greatly. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're going through so I can provide answers to your question. So when it comes to success in leadership and management, there's one thing that successful managers don't leave to chance. They control this entirely. Because if you want to be successful as a leader, as a manager, and I'm sure you read it in different books, what makes of you a successful leader, a successful manager, is your team being successful. But for your team to be successful, there are a few steps you need to be taking. And if you don't take things in your own hands from the very beginning, it's going to be very difficult for you to rectify it later down the line. And by that, I mean that if you want to be successful in your leadership, you need to be involved in the hiring process of your team. And this is something I experienced myself. I remember when I was working for the company I used to work for, there was this process. Likely we were in charge of hiring our own teams, right? There was not a HR department. There was an HR department. They were not in charge of hiring the teams. So if you are in a company where the HR department is in charge of hiring employees or members of your future members of your team, you want to be in the hiring process. You want to get to know that person. You want also to be involved in the interview. You want to get a feeling of the person you're going to work with. You need to have your word on whether that person is going to be a right fit for your team or not. If you can feel like that person is going to be someone you can lead, you can manage, you can develop, that's very important. Because if you don't do this, it's going to be very difficult for you later on down the line to be making that person grow, or for you to be able to make that person successful in their role. And if they're not successful, you cannot be successful as a leader, as a manager. This is not going to happen. And I'm talking from my own experience here. I remember when I used to work for the company I used to work, we were in charge of the hiring process. So we were sales managers, and we were in charge of hiring all the salespeople. And what I've noticed during that hiring process is that whenever I was not available to be conducting the interview, and let's say my colleague was conducting the interview for someone that was meant to be in my team, when that person joined my team, I could feel like it was more difficult for me to kind of lead that person. It was more challenging. Of course, I didn't manage in the end, but it was easier when I was involved in the hiring process and I was the one choosing the person I wanted in my team, because I had that feeling right up there. And from the feedback I received from all the employees, all the salespeople I've worked with for the past 10 years, they also told me that because I was part of the hiring process, they felt like they felt very grateful, and they felt like they had to prove, they had to show that I was right to give them the chance to work for the company. And I also have an additional tip for you. You want to be also conducting the induction, the onboarding. That is really important. People remember the induction. Until today, for the last company I used to work, I still remember the person that was there during my induction day. I remember my induction day because this is the first day you're joining the company. This is the first impression you have. So by having you, the manager, the line manager, in that induction, you're going to create a very special bond with that team member. And that is going to help you down the line when it comes to be influential towards that person, when it comes to create a connection with that person, when it comes to motivating that person. So if there's something that successful managers know they can't ignore, and they're very there from the very beginning, they don't take it lightly, is that they get involved in the hiring process of their team members. They are even present during the induction day, because that is where you create the first connection, which is going to be very strong and very paramount to your success as a manager. By knowing that from the very beginning, you have in your team someone that you know you can help grow. By knowing that from the very beginning, there's someone you know you can lead, you can easily influence, that's someone that you feel you can work with, you are going to gain a lot of time. And you will already have a plan as to how you're going to work with that person to make them successful, so that in return, they can also make you successful in your leadership and management. So I really hope that this tip helped you. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. This is going to help me with YouTube recommending this video to other managers like you who are passionate about leadership and management, who wants to grow in the leadership and management. And tell me in a comment, are you involved in the hiring process in your team? If not, is this something you are planning to do right now? So I'll see you next week for the next video. But until then, I suggest you watch this one because you are going to get great advice from there. See you next week.